you doing, my brother?
I'm great.
Big CEO energy.
Always, you gotta have that.
Yeah, man. Let me read some of these stats, man. Klutch Sports negotiated $900 million worth of contracts this summer. You got $4 billion in contracts total. You've got a performance sportswear brand in partnership with New Balance, and Lucky Me is now a New York Times bestseller, man. Amazing. But when you gonna learn how to spell clutch?
That is how you spell clutch.
K-L-U-T-C-H?
Yes. Knowledge, longevity, understanding, trust, communication, and honesty.
Okay.
But,
That's good. How'd you come up with that?
you know, when I was thinking about the company and the name for the company, what you need to be in sports, you need to have that clutch gene and be clutch. But then I also flipped it and said you actually needed to be in life, you need to be clutch. Now, with my partnership with New Balance, it's a little twist to it because the new athlete is all of you guys are athletes. You're an athlete, your wife's an athlete. And so from that perspective, it's aiming across the humanity of the athlete and also just the regular person who happens to cover the field every day and what they do in their life every day.
What do you mean when you say we're athletes?
You cover the ground. You work, you did the Breakfast Club this morning, you're on the Daily Show, etc. You know, your wife covers the ground when she's at home, making sure things are what needs to be.
What the hell you know about my wife, Rich?
I hear you because I hear you talk about her all the time in a very positive way. I don't know her. I'm just telling you. But that person is kindness never hurts, love is never wasted. Unity starts with you. Trust makes it possible. Community is a mentality, and honesty keeps it real.
Damn.
Yeah.
When did you just start making acronyms, man?
I'm a writer on the low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you say you honed your deal-making instincts by winning dice games as a kid. You know, if you read Lucky Me, great read, you'll know that. But have you changed since then? Are you still a gambler, you know, with a better credit line?
It's a different type of gamble. I mean, I think growing up, I did what I had to do, right? And it was a sport. It was actually my sport. Gambling was. Today, not so much as it pertains to in those environments and situations like that. But I think every day getting up, taking risks. Today, they're calculated risks that I take. Come from a place of strategy and a lot of preparation. But yeah, I still take the same risks. Yeah.
What's the last big gamble you took, you think?
The last big gamble I took, I would probably say, I bet on myself to start Klutch. That was a big gamble.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, you've been vocal about no black agents helping you when you entered the industry. You said they went to families and talked bad about you. Did you get flack for those statements?
I didn't really get flack. I got some people a little, upset because the thing is, what I meant by that is, we have to have a better understanding of our positioning and our work practice, right? And there's a way to do things, right? And it's all in competition. I love to compete, but then when you do it from a place of malice, then that changes the landscape of things. And I just don't think that has to be the case. But it's been the case prior to, and I wasn't shining a light on whether black or white agents because I can honestly say no agents, regardless of what color they were. But for me, when you read the book, I don't come from that. The game was given. And even in competition, I learned by losing. When I was gambling, I became a great gambler because I lost my way to being a great gambler, not because of anything more than that, right? And so I understand how to there's wins and losses at times, but it was a little bit different in terms of the integrity. And based upon their intent, it was just something that I have a tremendous lack of respect for because where I come from, those consequences were a little different for us. And we don't get those second and third chances, especially being young and black in America.
So in the book, you had to deal with like real killers in the street. So like,
absolutely, on an everyday basis.
Who's more cutthroat, these agents in this business or the killers in the street?
You can't see them coming. They'll smile in your face and then they have a conversation with parents. But I've elevated above that. Today, I wake up every day looking for companies to buy. So I'm not even in competition with them per se. And I still recruit when and how I want to. And I built a business to where we recruit across the board. But I just think it needs to be, I have a platform where I can actually shine a light on it.
Yeah.
And again, like I'll give you a prime example. I had a call, a gentleman called me, was in a situation. Now prior to him calling me, his representation basically tried to poach one of my players. Smile in my face, see me at games, etc. Okay, fine, nothing happened. But when the shoe was on the other foot, I didn't do the same to them. I even said to him, I said, look, I'm not trying to overstep my boundaries. I'm willing to help you and help your representation help you, because that's who I am as a person. So just bringing a different integrity to the space, because just because something used to be a certain way and is a certain way today, that doesn't mean it has to remain that way.
Why give him that courtesy if he wasn't going to give you that?
That's just how I was raised.
Yeah.
My mom and dad never raised me to
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask you about somebody, man. Dwayne Martin, you know Dwayne Martin, great friend, confidant.
I do know Dwayne Martin, yeah.
Yeah, great friend, confidant to Will and Jada. He had a lot of successes as an agent. He's a big advocate of yours.
He could really hoop, too.
He could really hoop. Above the Rim was not just a movie.
No,
you know?
he could play.
And he's a big advocate of yours. He told me he gave you advice to leave CAA immediately because you are your father and your father had his own store. Any truth to that?
I mean, he wouldn't say it if it wasn't some truth to it. I mean, there was a ton of people that when I ran across the idea of what I was going to do, told me, yeah, you should definitely do that, based upon them knowing me. So I can't sit here and say it's not any truth to that. He didn't give me the idea to leave, that's for sure. But through our conversations, he's always been supportive of me, and I appreciate that.
Now, you're one of the few sports agents that people know by name, right? Does that level of fame enable or hinder your ability to do your job? Like, who gets a better table, you or Drew Rosenhaus when y'all out?
I don't think I eat at the restaurants Drew Rosenhaus.
God damn, Rich, you too rich, man. Jesus Christ.
No offense to Drew, he lives in Miami. Like, there's a different taste bud there.
But does it help you or hurt you that you're, a notable figure?
I think, the notable figure perspective probably helps, but what helps me even more is how I treat people while being a notable figure. I think that helps even more.
Okay. What does a sports agent actually do?
A number of things.
We know they exist, right?
But what our 90% of the business is you're in client services.
Okay.
That's 90% of the business. But it's layered, for everything from negotiating contracts, developing players both on and off the floor, working with their families, marketing, shoe deals and things like that. Really, I like to lead from a place of education. So how do I better educate the player and the family, because I don't know how long this person is going to play the game, right? So you can't count your eggs before they hatch, and you can't only look at them as a talent. So I kind of go about it a little bit different way, but I also have the capabilities and the ability to do so, because I don't really have nobody beating down my back in terms of I have to do something and you have to reach this quota, et cetera. So I say that in all fairness, because everyone might not have the same, I would say, flexibility as I have, per se.
Do you help with marketing and promotional ideas for your athletes? Like, do you look at something and say, oh, this would be good for AD or this would be good for Bron?
Yeah,
okay.
All the time. I mean, I'm a creative at heart, so I like to come up with things. And also, what is marketing? Like, so if you talk to me about marketing, and most families don't know this, when you talk to me about marketing, you'll say, oh, I see a company get a deal done, that's marketing. It's not marketing, that's an endorsement. Marketing, in most cases, is storytelling. So what narrative you want out there, what picture you're trying to paint. The best marketers in the world, they never show you a price or anything. I said this before. They tell you a story, then you go out and buy that product, right? Different than when you're looking to buy a car commercial. They show you the car, they show you the price, depending on which one you get, the LE or the SC, et cetera. It's a difference between the two. So the issue we have right now with NIL is everyone's looking at it as a cash grab, and we're gonna get rich tomorrow. No, it's not, because when you really think about it, NIL, it's necessary, but it's important for it to be managed and controlled. And the number one step should be education. There's a lot of kids getting NIL deals, they're not paying taxes. So you look up, they don't understand that aspect.
They're not gonna have no student loan debt, but they're gonna be in debt with the IRS.
Yeah, exactly. So when you look at it from that perspective, and they're coming into it, and the family's coming into it saying, how much money are we gonna make? A lot of those numbers are very falsified numbers, and it's just common sense. If you're gonna spend 6 months at a university, and you have a partnership from NIL, what's the actual ROI from that company in 6 months? It's not much. So I tell my guys, if you're a pro, why are you focusing on NIL when you go into a place that can pay you more money than any brand ever?
Damn.
Not even possible.
So you against NIL deals?
I'm not against it because I expedited NIL.
Okay.
The deal I did with Darius Baisley for New Balance, $1 million internship, was NIL before NIL. I did that. But I'm just for the right positioning for NIL where it doesn't have kids jumping around from school to school and making decisions based upon the money. It's a bad habit to build when you start moving based upon finance. That's a very bad habit to build.
Now, I saw you recently on Club Shay Shay.
It's fun.
Yeah, you was on there lying.
I did not lie.
You were on there lying.
I did not lie.
Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
I will say this, and laugh if you want to. I'm one of the best shooters, though, even still to this day. And I take my chance. If I was in the 1 of 450, I'd be at the top. It's guys like me, Steph, Clay.
Clay who?
Thompson. Who else is gonna be? Dame.
Steph. This man talk about he shoot like
If
Dame.
you just talking shooting, this is the class I'm in.
Who's a bigger liar, you or LeBron?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. First of all, I'm not lying. As a friend of mine, Charlamagne, you shouldn't say that on national TV because I'm not.
I have no proof to back up you can shoot like Steph.
That's why you should not say I'm lying. Here's the point. Here's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
He asked a specific question. I gave a specific answer, and the key word, if this was a word problem, Shannon would have failed. He would have got it wrong.
Okay.
Shooting. I didn't say playing. I didn't say accolades. I said shooting. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you want to shoot jump shots with me, you have to be a pro.
So a game of horse.
No, meaning we put 5 spots on the court. From each spot, in order to beat me, you have to be 8 out of 10 from each spot to beat me, to pretty much tie me if I'm shooting it really well.
What have you done to prove this, Rich? Where's the tape? There's got to be some tape of something.
Here, do you want some names you can call?
Who?
Call Kevin Hart.
Okay. I can call Kevin.
No. Call Drake.
I can't call Drake.
Oh, no. Don't call Drake.
I can't call
You're
Drake.
the last person to call Drake. Call Kevin Durant.
That's the first athlete you named, by the way.
Hey, but I'm not. But wait a minute, I'm not done.
Okay.
Call LeBron. You can call him.
He's gonna lie for you.
He won't lie for me. He'll lie with me if I was lying.
Ooh.
But I'm not
so you
lying.
admit that y'all be lying.
If I was lying, but I'm not
Okay,
lying.
okay.
We're not in that position. We don't have to lie.
Do y'all
But
laugh at the memes of LeBron lying?
What? I laugh at LeBron all day long. No, we had a group chat that's hilarious. But no, seriously. But the point I'm trying to make is, it's very difficult for a civilian, non-professional athlete to shoot.
You just called all of us athletes. Now we civilian.
I said that's non-professional athlete. I'm serious. And so Shannon's, he don't understand it, but we're gonna have a little, he had to pay to see it. I don't do stuff for free like that.
Rich Paul, ladies and gentlemen. Lucky Me is available now.